winter. The restaurant is closed for the year. And it's time to start thinking about the season ahead. It's time to start planting seeds. We are definitely in need of help. I am actually cracking up that it's 9 seasons, and we have just written our first job descriptions of our career. Lost Kitchen has every year become something that is beyond my wildest dreams and bigger than I ever expected. We started our cabins, and we started an online shop, and we're looking to grow and expand other things. So our next step is we're gonna, for the first time ever, put it out there to the world and say we're hiring. I'm a little nervous to bring in a new face, but we have a huge set of shoes to fill.
We're hiring so many positions because Krista was doing the job of at least 5 people.
I know, Krista was. I mean, she's like a machine, and she was literally doing, it's true, like the job of 5 people. Krista has given her notice, which was really hard to hear. I have a hard time imagining the line without Krista. I felt like I had a co-pilot, and she was just going as fast as I was, and we were both keeping each other in the air. And I want her to have everything that she needs, and if it is more time with her family, then that's what comes first. It's not like I go to work and these are my employees. These are my best friends. And that's the fine line between it. So it is going to be interesting. It's like we're looking for a new friend to hire. Krista was here for 7 seasons, and we had such, almost like a psychic connection. I wouldn't even have to say anything, and she knew exactly where I was going. And she played such a huge role here, and one that I think is really going to be hard to fill. That's the thing I think I'm probably most nervous about, is that it's like we put together these fancy job descriptions, and I feel like our restaurant is so different that, I mean, it's not like a place where you need a sommelier. It's like Mom started this, she's been doing this, and she's been running it in this very relaxed way, where it's like you're coming to my house for dinner and I need your help making this meal, and so it's not a typical place. It's all just been a bunch of friends coming together, and now it's like a real business, and we need real help, and we need to bring in real people, and a lot of people. It's probably like 6 people. Cool. That's huge.
I'm excited. I'm scared about training. 6 people is not even 1-to-1.
Growing does mean expanding our staff, and that is always a little bit of a tricky thing because we've always been such a tight core group. But I know that over the past 2 years, I really burnt out my staff. But it was a hard time. It was COVID. It was hard to bring in a new face in what was an unsure time. And I'm at the point now where I need to hire other people to pick up more of the slack because I don't want to keep running my team into the ground.
I like this line that the kitchen service position ideal candidate will be confident but humble. You don't say anything about a psychic connection, though.
Oh, damn. We should have put that in, huh? We need to have a psychic connection if you're going to work in the kitchen. We have 2 interviews this week.
Love it, can't wait.
I'm Erin French. After spending years trying to get away from my small hometown of Freedom, Maine, I not only came back to live, I opened a restaurant.
There's a lot of people, they're all outside. Are we ready?
My kitchen family and I had no formal training, of no idea what was going to happen. But we trusted that everything we needed was right here. And soon, people were coming from all over the world to visit us. Every week is a new story, new ingredients.
Bottoms up. It's delicious.
New diners. New challenges for me and the team. The only constant is, it's home. Welcome to my favorite place in the whole world, the Lost Kitchen.
I wanted to ask you, can I go to market with you on Friday?
Yeah.
Let's go together, because I need to get a bunch of tulips and,
I get there right at 9 o'clock to get the best pick.
The transition from winter to spring can be a special one because it does sort of symbolize the start of the season, and so there's that gear up that starts to happen. It's time to start churning. Like, it's time to start getting your blood moving again. It's time to get going. April 1st is coming, and it's gonna be reservation season. And before you know it, the restaurant's gonna be open.
What are we gonna do about the cabins for tulips?
We could have, you know, at least a tulip in a vase.
I was thinking 3.
3, not just a singular bud.
Oh, okay. All right. You're the boss.
It's also time to take that one last slow moment because I'm about to lose all those moments. Because unless you work with me at the restaurant, I'm not gonna get to see my friends again until probably next February. So this week, I thought it would be fun if I invited a group of women in Maine who inspire me, who have started their own small businesses to get together at the restaurant just to be able to connect and brace ourselves for a big, beautiful season ahead. We've got artists, makers, doers, shakers. There's gonna be a whole list of really fun women. And we're all going. And Ashley and Mom. Even though Carrie and Alex and Ashley work here at the restaurant, they'll be dinner guests. And they're such good friends that they're pitching in and helping me serve as well. I think we need to have a couple nibbles. You had mentioned maybe doing some sort of mapley, spicy nuts. My vision is that everyone comes in and I want to have like just candles and flowers and lots of just nibbles just kind of all around here while we're kind of preparing other things so we can still be preparing but still be hanging out with our guests. And then I thought to keep dinner simple, do you know what we're making? It's Saturday night baked beans. I think it's great. Winter can be a little hard to be inspired. So for me, I think about things that take me back to my childhood, and I think about things that comfort me and ingredients that I can get my hands on. And so I got to thinking about old-fashioned baked bean Saturday supper, which is something my mom would make all the time on Saturdays in the winter. So it'll be baked beans, and then we're gonna do like a very traditional pork belly with a crispy top. And then we'll serve it with bread. And I was thinking we'd make a whipped maple butter to slather on the bread. That'd be good. It'd be really yummy. And then we'll do a side, family style, of like a fancy Waldorf salad, just with apples and celery. And then we would do like a maple candied walnuts for a little crispiness. Carrie, do you want to do any fun candy thing or something afterwards?
I'm gonna try to do something I ate when I was younger. Maple fudge cones.
Maple fudge cones. I wanted this one to just feel like comfort food and not be ashamed of it and feel like it was okay. I'm with friends, I can relax, I can make something that's simple and a little bit surprising, because who was gonna think I'd have all ladies over and serve a bunch of pork belly and beans for dinner?
Okay, so we have some work to do now.
Yeah, and I still want to talk about the soup. I wonder if I can go to a farmer's market and see if there's anything to be seen. We're gonna make it delicious. It's gonna be great. It can be a little challenging to come up with inspiration in winter because it's not like all this beautiful produce is coming out. Ever since the frost hit, it's been pretty stark around here. But when you're heading into March, it happens to be the beginning of maple season. So I'm excited to use Sweet Freedom maple in everything in this week's menu. I'm thinking it would just be really fun to just pop it in for a little bit of sweetness, and I think I can use it in everything from an appetizer to a cocktail to entree and all the way down to dessert. It's liquid gold.
Okay, so that one's ready to tap and that one's ready. You can go ahead, Kendall. Jump right in.
My name's Kendall Boudreau. This is my uncle Mark Boudreau. We're at Sweet Freedom Maple Syrup here in Freedom, Maine. So we built this with our own hands. It's a family-run business.
There's a good one here. It's out in the open where the sun can hit it.
At first, it kind of started as something that we were just going to do on the side as a little hobby, and we just kind of took it and ran with it.
When you've never done this, you learn a lot of things real quick. And so we've been learning every year. This is our 5th year. Beautiful, sap's running already. When you have sunshine, it heats up the trees, heats up the ground, and the flow picks up. That's how you like to see most of the lines filled up with sap and moving.
From the tree, it goes down into our extractor, and it pumps the sap right up to the sugar house. As those tank levels come up, that's when we separate some of the water from it. And at that point, we turn on the evaporator, draws off, we bottle it, and away we go.
I love using maple syrup this time of year because you can use it from savory things to sweet things. So it's a really flexible in-season ingredient.
So you look at our syrup, it's got a little red tint to it. We call it Sweet Freedom Red.
A lot of the menus that I come up with feel like they're on the cusp of one season and heading into another because, Maine is always moving from season to season. So there are a lot of winter elements here, and then there's a nod to spring with the maple.
When you were young, they didn't have farmers markets.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Maybe you just didn't know about them.
Today, we're headed to the Belfast Farmers Market. I'm excited to pick up some fresh tulips, and I'm crossing my fingers there's gonna be some sort of greens and hopefully find some inspiring ingredients for this dinner.
Soup has been kind of the one thing that I haven't quite figured out. It was like, what am I gonna, I'm not gonna do beet soup, don't wanna do a carrot soup, we got potatoes. Winter shopping takes a little bit of scavenging. Winter scavenger produce hunt.
I've been going to Belfast Farmers Market for over 20 years now.
Brought laundry baskets because I plan on cleaning up.
Belfast Farmers Market was one of the first farmers markets that I started going to when I realized I am a little obsessed with local foods.
Oh, yeah.
And it really became a staple of when I first started to meet farmers and make connections, and you start to see them every week and you know them by name.
Can I get 4 spinach? Is that cool?
Yeah, you can.
I was really excited to find winter spinach, which is the sweetest spinach because it gets a little bit of frost on it and it gets nice and cold, and that brings out all the sugars, so it makes it nice and sweet.
Okay, and I'm also gonna get some kale. Because come on, greens in the wintertime.
I know.
I thought I was gonna go and just see carrots, beets, potatoes, but there were a few surprises.
Marsha's got celeriac.
I found celery root.
Marsha's for rescue.
Celery root and celery are not the same thing. They would be cousins, I guess you could say. And the celery root is more of a bulbous, it's almost like a parsnip in a way.
Oh, this is making my day right here. Here's my soup right here.
And I also found sunchokes, which was a really big surprise. It's been 9 years since I've cooked with a sunchoke. I haven't seen one, so that was a big win.
Tulips.
Hi. How are you? Good to see you.
Oh, they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful.
I know, look at these new colors this week,
Yeah,
too, huh?
we have a lot of different kinds this week.
Seek No Further Farm is a small farm in Monroe run by Angela and Lisa. And what I love about what they're doing is they're growing tulips in the middle of winter.
I'm Angela Baglioni. I'm one half of Seek No Further Farmstead in Monroe.
And I'm Lisa Callan, the other half. I'm gonna pick this weird one.
We grow vegetables year-round, and at this time of year, in the winter and early spring, we grow a lot of tulips.
Okay. We never thought we would grow tulips. We weren't really flower farmers at all. We just happened to go to a workshop and people said, you know what's really great? Growing tulips. And we were like, oh, let's try it. We have the greenhouse space. The first year we grew 3,000 bulbs, and now we're growing 40,000.
The last week or two of our season, we start hearing people say, oh, my tulips are just coming up in my garden. But at that point, we're wrapping up, and we've gotten everyone through some of the coldest, darkest months of the winter.
Mm-hmm. We know that our job is kind of done.
Yeah.
Can I just grab?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. They're all wrapped up at the bottom, so they won't be drippy or anything, and they have enough water to get home.
Oh my gosh, this is just bringing me a lot of joy.
Tulips are probably the first flower that I ever fell in love with. And what I love about them is their resilience. You plant them in the fall, and they stay in the frigid ground all winter long and then come up as these beautiful blossoms in the springtime. And I remember being a little girl and seeing this one rogue tulip that would grow every year in the same spot, just one tulip popping up in our backyard. I really just want to fill the table with flowers that symbolize inspiration and strength, just like these women. I feel like it's everything we've been looking for and needing for a while.
It's a pretty back seat. All right, I did you baked beans now. So I'm using Marifax beans because they're traditional New England baked beans. So this is like the perfect traditional baked bean. So my mom always made baked beans with a little bit of salt pork. So you put this chunk of it in there and it just flavors the beans and makes them delicious. Plus I'm adding bacon because why not?
Saturday night baked beans are a very traditional New England dish, and I think it's a Saturday night sort of thing because it's something that takes many hours to make. So you start it on a Saturday morning, and then you just have a really relaxed Saturday evening dinner.
I'm just trying to balance the sauce out for the beans.
The way that I make it is with ketchup for a little acid, and then molasses.
Then there's the maple for all the sweetness.
Maple syrup.
Gotta have brown sugar.
And a little dry mustard.
Ooh, see, you can smell it already.
Bacon and onions.
You know what baked beans smell like? That's good. That's just what I want it to be.
And when I taste it, it reminds me of those loving and comforting meals that my mom would make on a cold winter's eve.
First the bacon, then the onions. Just cook it in the same pan with the bacon drippings for flavor. The smell of onions on the stovetop reminds me of my grandfather. He would always, almost always have a skillet with onions going for whatever reason, whether it was to go with hot dogs or in baked beans or on hamburgers.
I feel like that's like the real power of food, when all you do is saute onions in butter and you can smell your grandfather. Like, that's magic. One simple thing and he's still there even though he's long gone. That's pretty powerful.
The worst thing is that my goal is to make them taste like canned beans because they're so good, but the homemade version. I love these beans because you can see they stay together and they're so creamy and so good. And I gave them a little head start. Cooked them with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, some bay leaf, and some garlic. And I'm just gonna take that out. And you can't get hold of anything else. You can always get beans. Yeah, those look great. Lauren, come smell it.
Are you tasting it too?
I tasted the sauce. You smell it?
I smell the ketchup.
It smells like ketchup. I'm happy. They look great. I'm gonna let them sit and just let their flavors come together for a second. And then I'm gonna tuck this guy, look at that. That just goes right down in the middle. Look at all that flavor.
And in 5 hours, the beans will be nice and tender.
Just need sticks. But these will work. Why not?
There's nothing like going out into the woods in the winter and just being there in the forest with the simple task of just foraging. And whatever that is, it could be the tiniest task, but being out there by yourself, taking a big deep breath, nothing will clear your head better than that. Whether I'm foraging for cedar sprigs or maple sticks, I'll just take anything I can to be outside and foraging this time of year.
I thought I'd use these as popsicle sticks because Carrie and I are gonna make these kind of traditional Canadian pops. Hot maple syrup, snow, and it almost makes a taffy after you boil the syrup. And then you drizzle it on the fresh snow and you roll it. So I thought it'd be fun after dinner. When everyone thinks that dessert is over, I'm gonna tell them, just kidding. We'll go out to the fire pits and make these taffy pops. Everyone coming understands the challenges of owning a small business, working really hard in the summertime and being just completely worn out. It is a place where it's challenging to work, and the year round is really, really tricky. And so I think if we know that there are other people going through the same things that we are, that maybe we'll just feel a little bit lighter. That's always been the way that I feel. It's once you know someone else knows exactly the way you're feeling, however you're feeling, doesn't feel quite as terrible.
Winter's tiring, and I think that's the thing about Maine. You always get kind of towards the end of a season, you're ready for a new one. It's kind of exciting to enter the new season.
I'm really excited about being able to sit down to dinner with some of the ladies. I've never gotten to eat at a Lost Kitchen before, so this is gonna be a first for me, really sitting down and enjoying space that I created with people that I care about deeply. I think everyone's very excited. Hi, good girl. Hi.
Are you psyched about Saturday?
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Here.
Great job.
Yeah, you like that?
The way I think about the Lost Kitchen, it's the way my menus go. I do start with one small idea, and I'm always adding another course, and then another course.
Look at this.
And I do keep trying to keep dreaming. So now that we're hiring all these people, I'm thinking, how do we grow the business in other ways?
I have a little finishing touch.
What is it?
Something I learned from the Lost Kitchen. Ambiance. Yeah, look at this.
Dig in.
I know we complain about having too many projects, but you know, I don't think we want it any other way.
Mm-mm. A little overwhelming at times, but we got this.
I've known for a while that we need to expand in some way. Space is a really tricky thing in a rural community. In the mill building, there have been 2 tenants since the beginning. It's been Lost Kitchen on the base floor and then a small school on the upper level on the 2nd floor. And that space has just become available, which is kind of a big deal for us because we are just busting at the seams. Looks like it's gonna be all ours, and we're excited to start to dream about what we can do with it now.
Hopes and dreams would be able to have space to expand for our online shop. We have space where people can actually come and visit. We want to have a little cafe with coffee or wine or ice cream or sandwiches. I'm not sure what it is, but some sort of petite cafe.
Yep. For the market, we need some sort of shipping type situation.
More space to have little outdoor lunches or outdoor cafe or brick and mortar shops, because I'll never be able to feed enough people who want to come to the restaurant. So how do I give them bites at the restaurant without the full meal? Because I can't. I can only make so many meals. We only have so many seats, and I'm committed to like staying small and keeping this the way that it is, because I think the second we start to mess with that, it'll end it all.
I want the dining room space at the Lost Kitchen to continue to be just exactly what it is. That is my beating heart, that space. It's what made us. It's where we grew and figured out who we were. And I want to sort of protect that in a way and make like these special dinners are what they are. And that's what that dining room's for. The rest of the mill, I want to open it up to a space where it does feel more accessible, where neighbors could just pop by and pick up a nice loaf of bread and a fresh bouquet of flowers and say hi. I want it to be more accessible than it's become. But the season is approaching very quickly, and we have to start putting those dreams into reality in some form if they're gonna take shape this season.
I think that we're doing the right thing, pushing in the right way, trying to grow in the right way. I've come a long way.
You've come a long way, baby. Cheers.
For this dinner, I have to figure out like what's gonna create some really beautiful ambiance, what's gonna make really beautiful lighting.
Ready?
So we're going to Danica Candleworks today. I first discovered Danica a few years ago when I was looking for candles, because I'm obsessed with all candles all the time. And I wanted to find a Maine-made candle.
Hi, I'm Cindy Lautzen.
I'm Eric Lautzen.
And we're at Danica Candles. Danica Candles is known for hand-dipped tapers. There are very few people making hand-dipped tapers anymore because they are very labor-intensive, and it is about a 2-day process from start to finish.
They say that candles have been made for like 5,000 years or something, so they probably made them the same way I'm making them. We started out with 24 colors, and we're now up to 43. Most candles are white, and they're over-dipped in color. Ours are solid color all the way through.
These candles, they're handmade. You can see, I mean, you can look at them, and each one has a little bit different, but just made just right. I just love having that appreciation of knowing the people behind making the things that you use on an everyday basis. I mean, I'm lighting Cindy and Eric's candles every night in my own house. We're throwing this dinner, and I ordered a bunch of tulips, and I thought, I mean, I'm just obsessed with candles, and I wanted to get, like, usually I'm just very simple. You know this, Cindy, because we always, for the restaurant, we order white or beeswax and keep it very simple. But this one, I'm gonna go, like, big color.
Yeah, branch out.
Let's branch out. We're gonna branch out big. I'm ready to pick colors. This is my absolute dream. I feel like this is a tulipy kind of pretty color. This peach, right? Doesn't that feel tulipy? It's like the brightest color we can get this time of year are just these flowers and the candles, because the food is not gonna have a lot of pop.
The brown food.
The brown food that we're making.
That's why we need so much color.
I knew that I needed to add some color. It's that bit of bright light that's gonna fuel our souls for a busy season ahead. I feel better already. We're a day out from our dinner tomorrow night, and I'm gonna get prepping, get my mind wrapped around this, and just jump into the kitchen for the day and start getting ready for tomorrow. My mom always served beans with hot dogs, but I thought I'd elevate it a little bit. So I thought, well, what if we do a delicious piece of pork belly on top of it? Like, that's good. That's kind of like a fancy hot dog, right? A nice piece of pork belly on top of beans. That's what I want for dinner. Did you grow up with Waldorf too?
A version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom made it all the time, and she's been holding out on me all this time, never putting grapes in there. I didn't even know that that was a thing.
Oh,
What's
yeah?
wrong with me?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My mom would put raisins in it.
My mom would sometimes too, but I didn't like it as much. I think she would do it just because Waldorf salad was always something that she had the ingredients in the fridge for. She always had a bag of walnuts. She always had some apples and some celery for whatever, so she could just throw it together. Grapes was a little bit more of a luxury. If you had grapes in the wintertime.
What, you're not doing grapes, are you?
I'm doing grapes.
You're doing grapes?
Not your mama's Waldorf salad. Uh-oh. The pork belly I have isn't skin on.
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna be able to get that crispy crust now because there's no fat on this pork belly that showed up, so. Are you still coming to dinner now?
I don't know.
When I realized that the pork belly came without the skin on it, I was a little panicked because that was gonna be my crackling. So crackling is usually pig skin that you crisp up. It gets nice and crispy. And it's got all that like crunchy, delicious, almost like pork rind bits to it. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it, but I do know that I'm gonna cure it, so I can at least do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be delicious. It's pork belly. It's hard to mess up pork belly.
Yeah, but I wanted that crispy. Maybe we can make some sort of crackling. So I started thinking about like, how can I fix this? And I started to think about maple. And I thought, well, I could just make a little maple crunch to go on top. And I think sweet goes well with pork. We can make cracklings to go on top of it.
Yeah.
All right, good, you're still coming to dinner now. It'll kind of cut all the fattiness to it and be delicious, so I came up with my own crackling. I've made this recipe a zillion times. I used to make it a lot at my first restaurant. This dinner is a combination of things that I wouldn't necessarily come up with if I hadn't been trained that way. So now I'll just put a little herb de Provence. That's a lot of work. Yeah, I went for it. I am getting a winter workout. All right, that's the flavor. I'm gonna pack it and put it away for the night, and we'll see this baby in the morning. friends coming over for dinner in about 5 hours, so that's quite a bit to get done, but I'm excited to get this rolling. Growing up, Waldorf salad and baked beans were always a pair that came together, but I'm making mine just a little bit different than my mom used to make it because I'm adding grapes and I'm candying the nuts with maple from Sweet Freedom because I think it'll just give this nice, delicious crunch. It's definitely shaped me the way that my mom cooked food for me growing up and my dad. And I think it makes you very specific about the way you want things when you're all grown up because you have memories and you're like, no, my Waldorf salad never had grapes in it. I think the menu started out as being this nice, comforting, wintry meal, and then the end, you kind of get that taste of spring of like, and here's what's next, here's what's coming. So it's winter heading into spring. And even the table, I want it to feel like the sticks coming down, like there's the winter, and then the tulips coming up, and there's the spring. Okay. Beans are in.
Great.
Gorgeous. I'm gonna whip my maple butter. I am making some maple butter, and then I might start getting the table set.
These ones are ready to go.
Great. Do you want to start filling them up with water for me?
Yeah.
I want this dinner to look a little bit different than normal. Usually the dining room is a little bit sparse because we're getting ready to fill the table up with food. But for this, I really just want to fill the table with so many flowers. Flowers, these amazing women, some colorful candles, and I feel like I'm just putting hope down on the table for all of us. Hopeful for this new season, and that we'll all be inspired by everything that's on the table and everyone who's around the table. Gosh, so gorgeous. Is it getting out of control?
No, we're barely gonna be able to see each other across the table, but it's fine.
I love it. I've never made a table quite so colorful before. I'm usually very traditional and simple, and I like to keep things just to beeswax and white and linen. Is it too colorful?
No, I think you're doing the right thing.
I think it looks beautiful.
We're doing the right thing? It is rare that I get to get a big table together of friends and cook for them and have that moment. So to have a moment to pause down and say, I'm stopping everything to make you all dinner. I want you to come and sit and enjoy. I'm gonna sit at my table. I've never sat at my table. I've never eaten at the Law's Kitchen before. So this is kind of a treat for me to sit in my own dining room, this place that I built from scratch, this place that, you know, I've worked my butt off there, and to actually sit down at that table and those chairs that Mom and I painted the first year that we opened the place, and the tables that we built with our own hands, and to be able to sit down and have a meal there is something that I think is long overdue. I'm excited. All right, that looks perfectly cooked. Hey, take our picture. Girls night out.
I was trying to really like to move, but no.
Coming.
Hi,
Erin.
oh, good to see you.
Thank you for coming.
This is for you.
No. I am so excited to see these women walk through the door, like truly excited.
Hi, Lady Joe.
I've invited Joe from Moody Town Gardens.
Oh, we get 2 at once.
Yes.
Hi.
Amy Rowbottom from Crooked Face Creamery. Erin Flett, who's a local designer.
You must be Sarah. I am.
Sarah Madeira Day, a local artist. We've got Melissa from 44 North.
Your mom is adorable, and her cabinets are so cute.
And Devin Finnegan from Aragosta. We're trying to make it spring. So
Yeah, I love it. That's very springy.
We thought we needed a burst of
We do.
color. I'm gonna check my soup. I'll be right back. And we're gonna be sitting down and having some soupy soups.
Thank you so much. This is beautiful.
How are you doing this? No, I'm making it up. You know, just get a little piece of carrot.
That maple is really good with them.
And then just a little smidgen of Amy's fresh ricotta and just sort of dab it in there. Speaking of your cheese, this is Amy's fresh ricotta.
Amy, this is crazy. I'm meeting you and eating your cheese. I love it.
For a nibble, we made stuffed endive leaves with carrot oranges, fresh ricotta, candied pistachios, and a drizzle of maple.
That is delicious. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. That's so yummy. And then Erin, we often like.
You know why? Because this lady makes the cheese, and you gotta meet her. This is Amy Rowbottom from Cooking Faces. Nice from 44 North. Yes.
Oh, drinking your coffee for so many years. I love it so much.
We're all obsessed with your caffeination. So.
Yeah.
My intention behind this dinner is to have a get-together where we can all fuel our souls for an evening.
Look how pretty this table is.
It's gonna be a busy season for all of us, and it's kind of like the last hurrah before winter ends, spring will be here, summer will be running.
I'm very happy with the way it turned out. A good hostess always warms their bowls up in the oven.
I've never put together a full-on dinner just for friends at the restaurant to sit down and actually cook for them and relax.
Well, this is gonna go with your soup, so I'm just gonna remove this.
It's been hard to find that work and social life balance sometimes.
Are you doing 2 ladles?
Probably 3.
Okay. All right, why don't you go sit down? We'll do this. Go.
Ooh, I get to just sit down in my own restaurant. So just so you know, the soup is kind of designed for 2, so find someone that you may not know next to you and maybe pour their soup for them.
For soup, we're serving a creamy sunchoke soup, and on the side, some crispy parsnip ribbons.
Wow.
Can I put in the green?
Every woman at this table is someone who has inspired me, empowered me, and has just given me some courage in my own challenging days.
That wasn't very loud, was it? Welcome, ladies. I wanted to tell you just how awesomely thrilled I am to have you here. I have dreamed of having a dinner like this for a long time. Lauren knows it. You are women that we have looked up to and respected, and I've found moments in my life when I get together with women and there's something that happens, there's an energy, there's a feeling, and I feel invincible, and I've been feeling really low lately, so I've needed you, and I've needed all these flowers, and I've needed all these colors and these flavors, so I hope this gives you a little taste of spring down here, it's winter coming at us, and it's us in between coming for it. So I'll introduce the reason I put sticks from the ceiling and flowers on the table and candles everywhere. The grande dame of the evening, my mom. The one blushing at the end here, she's such a beauty, and the reason why I am who I am. She taught me everything I know, and she's supported me through everything. I wouldn't be here without her, and I'm thankful for her. Carrie at the end here works at Lost Kitchen in the kitchen, and she has been an inspiration. We really push each other, and it's really been a wonderful experience with Carrie here in the kitchen. Lauren, I know so many of you know Lauren, and you may not have met her before tonight. She's my best friend in the entire world. I love this woman with all my heart. Lauren is a queen here, one step below grande dame. So here is to our season ahead. May it be a beautiful one. May we love what we do for a very long time in this place that we care about so deeply. Cheers, you guys. Thank you so much to all of you. Cheers. Just gonna stir things.
Yeah.
Be right back. Gonna keep bebopping in and out. It's going great. I feel relaxed. Everyone's having a nice time, so I don't feel guilty about walking away from the table. It's so pretty out there. Hot toast right up front, and then we're gonna start plating up here.
You want butter on the bread?
Ashley.
Yes.
So this is maple butter. And I just want this nice little slather.
Okay. Like that?
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you.
For entree, we made old-fashioned Saturday night baked beans with pork belly and maple sugar cracklings, served with a Waldorf salad on the side.
It's Saturday night baked beans. Thanks, Mom.
That's amazing.
Yeah, mine always look like this too.
I love these halved grapes. We didn't have grapes in our Waldorf
I
salad.
know, I was just gonna say the grapes.
I don't think you bought grapes very often.
I never put grapes in my Waldorf salad, but I like it.
Is it like
Strip.
Thank you, my dear.
I'm so glad to spend this time with you.
I know.
We never get to.
No, I know.
We never get to hang out.
I know. It's true.
This is everything I wanted it to be. And this is everything I needed right now, and I hope they're getting everything that they need right now as well with this delicious food and this conversation. I feel like it's everything we've been eating for a while.
What's your vision, Erin?
Isn't that like their place in barns?
Do you have an idea, like, what do you want to,
Some days I'm thinking so big and broad, and other days I'm just like, let's get through today.
How about with the people? Like, when you have all these people, you hire more people, and
That's where we're having growing pains big time.
Yeah.
We have to hire more help, and for the first time ever in the history of this place, like, we're actually gonna put it out there to the world and be like, we're hiring.
Right. Honestly, like, if I can give you any advice, just like stay to what you need and be a judge of character, you know, but go with your gut. I'm so honored to sit at the long table with Erin. I mean, I think of her as a friend, but I also like think of her as just an incredible woman who's making her dreams come true.
being around fresh flowers and just being invited to an amazing dinner that is just fills you up with so much hope and joy. This is pretty empowering. Erin brings me so much passion and clarity of what is possible.
Okay.
Okay. So you want one big scoop?
That's my kind of scoop right there. Look at that. That's what I want. Okay. I want my little toffees on the side like that. Gorgeous. That one's beautiful. Nice job.
For dessert, we made homemade vanilla bean ice cream topped with pecan toffee, warm maple, and whipped cream.
So delicious. I love the crunch. So yummy. I just want to warn you, there are 2 more desserts coming. Oh my gosh. What? But we're gonna bundle up and go outside with them.
We've got ice cream sundaes with maple, we've got maple fudge cones, and then we're gonna use the sticks that I foraged for to make little taffy maple pops.
Mom, you want a soft pop?
I do. So fun.
When you're ready, you have to come to the takeout window. Really? Yeah. It's a soft pop. Get in it.
Oh my gosh, is that on a twig? Yeah. Ooh, that maple is so yummy.
I love you. As I'm seeing all of their beautiful faces and feeling their energy around the space and their laughter, saying a little bit goodbye to winter, saying hello to the beginning of spring, I am feeling full.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, that's cute.